Every single person you know used tissue paper today. They will use it again tomorrow. And the day after that, nobody decides to stop buying it. Nobody switches to something else. It just gets used and replaced forever. The business behind that habit is simpler than you think. Let me show you the machine that runs it. A tissue paper machine takes large rolls of raw paper material and converts them into finished tissue products. Toilet rolls, facial tissue, napkins, paper towels. The machine cuts, perforates, and rolls the paper into the exact format that households and businesses pull off shelves every week. You are not inventing a product. You are manufacturing something that already has a permanent place in every home, every office, every restaurant, every school, and every public bathroom on the planet. This is not a business you have to explain to anyone. The product explains itself every single time someone reaches for a roll. Let us walk through exactly how this becomes a real and sustainable income. The first thing to understand about tissue paper as a product is that it is completely consumption-driven. Unlike electronics or clothing or furniture, tissue paper does not sit in a drawer for months after someone buys it. It gets used immediately, and then it needs to be replaced. A family of 4 goes through multiple rolls every week without thinking about it. A restaurant with 50 tables burns through napkins every single service. A school with hundreds of students needs a steady supply of toilet rolls and hand tissue just to keep the bathrooms functional. The demand is not seasonal. It is not tied to trends or economic cycles. It is biological and behavioral, which means it never stops. Now let us talk about what the machine actually does and how it turns raw material into a finished product you can sell. The raw input is what the industry calls jumbo rolls or parent rolls. These are large, uncut rolls of base tissue paper that you purchase from a paper manufacturer or supplier. Your machine takes those large rolls and processes them down into the consumer-sized products your buyers want. It cuts them to length, perforates them for easy tearing, wraps them if needed, and outputs a product that is ready to be packaged and sold. Depending on the machine you invest in, you can produce toilet rolls, kitchen rolls, facial tissue boxes, or napkins. And some machines can switch between formats depending on what your market needs most at any given time. The cost structure of this business is one of the things that makes it attractive for a small operator. Your main input cost is the jumbo roll stock, which you buy in bulk and process into smaller units that sell at a higher per unit price. The difference between what you pay for raw paper stock and what you sell finished rolls for is your working margin, and because you are adding processing value rather than a complicated ingredient, that margin is consistent and predictable. Your electricity cost to run the machine is manageable. Your packaging cost is low because tissue products do not require elaborate presentation to sell. A clean plastic sleeve with a simple label is all most buyers need to trust the product and put it in their cart. Distribution for this business is one of its strongest advantages. Tissue paper does not spoil. It does not need refrigeration. It does not break in transit. You can stack it, bag it, load it on a small vehicle, and deliver it to 10 different buyers in a single morning run. Your target buyers are everywhere. Supermarkets and grocery stores restock tissue products constantly and often prefer buying from a local supplier who can deliver quickly and reliably rather than waiting on a large distributor. Hotels and guest houses need bulk supply on a regular schedule. Offices order tissue for their bathrooms every month like clockwork. Schools, clinics, barbershops, salons, and canteens all use it daily and all need a source. Once you establish 2 or 3 reliable bulk buyers, you have a baseline of orders that covers your costs and gives you room to grow. One of the most underrated parts of this business is how well it responds to branding even at a small scale. Most people assume that tissue paper is a commodity where only the biggest brands win. That is not the full picture. In many local markets, buyers are not loyal to a brand. They are loyal to a price point and a consistent quality level. If your rolls are well made, properly sized, and priced competitively, local shops will stock them and customers will buy them again and again without needing to know the brand story behind them. As your operation grows, you can invest in better packaging, develop a recognizable label, and start building actual brand recognition in your distribution area. Some of the most successful small tissue manufacturers in developing markets started with one machine, a few local accounts, and packaging that was simple but clean and consistent. The question of who can realistically start this business comes down to a few basic requirements. You need a space large enough to house the machine and store your raw material and finished stock. You need access to a paper roll supplier, which in most countries means a wholesale paper distributor or a direct manufacturer relationship. You need a basic delivery setup to reach your buyers, even if that means starting with a single vehicle or partnering with someone who already does local distribution. And you need the discipline to run production consistently because your buyers will expect regular supply, and reliability is what turns a first order into a long-term account. This is what it all comes down to. The tissue paper market does not have slow months. It does not have a slow year. It is one of the few product categories in the world where demand is guaranteed by human behavior rather than trends or marketing. Every person, every day, in every building around you is consuming the product your machine makes. You are not trying to create demand. The demand already exists. It existed before you started reading this, and it will exist long after. The only question is whether you are the one supplying it or whether someone else is collecting that income while you watch. The roll runs out, the order comes in, that cycle does not stop.